Hi everyone, welcome to our episode of Members in the Spotlight, organized by the Belgian, Luxembourg, Romanian, Moldovan Chamber of Commerce. We are here in the nice office of Cegeka, one of our dearest members, and I'm having here with me Tom de Vos. Tom, thank you for accepting our invitation to be our guest today.
You're welcome, it's my pleasure.
And thank you for welcoming us here in the new location of your office.
Yes, thank you. It's nice to be here. It's new, it's open, so we like to be here as well, of course.
Thank you so much. So, we prepared some questions for our show today.
Yes.
Actually, it's going to be a two-part show. First, we would like our members to know more about you and about Cegeka and your experience with this industry and stuff. But also at the end, we would like to know some fun questions about you. Is it okay?
Very good.
Okay, so
yes.
Let's start.
Yeah.
So, how long has Cegeka been a member in our chamber? How long?
I think this year it will be 8 years. It's quite some time already.
Yes, this is true. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10,
it's
yeah.
One of the first members for us.
Yes, exactly. You're welcome.
And being for such a long time here with us, how this benefited your business?
In several ways, I would say. The first one probably is this office. We wouldn't have been in this office if it was not because of the chamber. We met the landlord, who's also a member. So the reason why we're here in this office is because of the chamber, in fact. That's one. We're also in Moldova present, so where we also have activities together with a member of the Moldova part of the chamber. So those are two examples of benefits we have already. There's much more. Just to give an example, I think two times a year or so, we work with another member who is making very excellent Belgian chocolates here in Romania to provide these to our customers on an event, on guests. So that's also another benefit, a nice one and a tasty one.
Wow.
Just to name a few.
Okay, good, thank you. So, do you have any advice that you would like to give to companies wanting to join our association?
My advice, I can give many advice, but the most relevant advice for me is join the events. That's where you can network. That's where you get to know not only Belgian companies, where you can work with, collaborate with, partner with, but also associated Romanian companies or other chambers of commerce. So the networking part is I think one of the strong points of the chamber. And like that, I would really recommend to join, if possible, as much as possible of these events. They're really good for networking.
Thank you for your consideration. Now, coming back a bit about your professional experience, what has been so far your biggest professional achievement here in Cegeka?
Good question. I would not only call it Cegeka, I basically sold my company to Cegeka. I consider that not, as such, not a big achievement, although it is an important one. But the fact that I'm still here. I sold my company in October 2010 and I'm still here. Which means that, considering that I'm a little bit entrepreneurial as well, I find it a big achievement that I'm still here. It means that this environment is very entrepreneurial and it fits completely with how I look at building a business, growing a business, expanding a business. So that's for me personally my biggest achievement.
Well, it's quite an achievement. I think many entrepreneurs are looking for this.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
And what career advice do you live by?
I think if I were to summarize it, I would say work hard, work smart. Okay. It's a very short sentence, I would say, but for me it says everything. You cannot achieve a lot without working, so you need to work. At the same time, you need to balance your life a bit. You want to be efficient, so work smart.
Yeah, very good advice. especially for these periods where everybody needs to do something and wants to do something.
Yeah.
So without the hard work and
Exactly.
smart way of doing,
Exactly, yes. And it came from my mother, by the way.
Yeah, it came from your mother. Very
This
interesting.
advice.
Very good one. How do you define success?
Well, success for me personally, because of course there are different perspectives on success. Success for me is not a one-time thing. It's not. I don't see success as I had a success. For me, success is a continuous continuation of achieving things. Because success comes with failures as well. We all know that. So I don't like to focus too much on one success. I prefer more to have to look at success as something that is continuous, where you evolve, where you develop, where you grow as a person, and also in the organization where you are, which includes failures. That's coming out of the book, but still it's really a truth, I would say. That's one aspect. Another aspect for me is I feel the most success of the people around me are also successful. If I see the people who I work with, who I partner with, if they're doing good as well, if they are developing, if they're growing. So for me, success has these two parts. It needs to be something continuous, and it needs to be not only for me, but it also needs to be for the people who I work with, who I collaborate with. That's very important to me.
Coming back to our second part of the interview,
Okay.
the fun questions. What are your hobbies?
I have quite some hobbies. If I made my top list, let's say, it's for sure reading. I like to read a lot. I like to read 3 books at the same time, which sounds strange, but I need to have the diversity of fiction. I need to have something related to business, let's call it, whether it's a management book, whether it's about how to do business, whether it's new things in business I want to learn about. And then most of the time I also, for instance, what I'm reading now is the Atlas of the World Wines, which is for me interesting to, also Romania is in there. It's the Atlas I'm reading, which is very interesting. And I see, it's something I want to do when I'm older, because wine is for me not the drinking and such, but the tasting, but it gives you also a purpose. Meaning you explore the regions and it gives you a reason to go to certain regions. So you say, okay, let's explore the region of France, which is very big, of course, but you can choose a region based on the wines you like to drink, or vice versa. Wines you didn't drink yet, you can visit a region and learn about these wines.
Wow. So it can be, the same philosophy can be put to Belgium as well, with
Of
so
course.
many assortments of beer.
Of course it can be, yes. So that's one hobby, that's reading. For the rest, walking a bit. I play a bit of golf, although in Romania not so easy, but playing golf. And it sounds strange, but I like to go on holiday with my parents. Since I live in Romania, I don't see my parents that often. So when I have the opportunity, 2-3 times a year, I go with them on holiday. So that's a bit my hobbies. And when I am in Belgium, for me, pretty important is meeting my friends. Which is not a hobby, but it's something I like to plan for. Let's call it like that. Yes.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
It depends on the season. In the summer, I'm more like a morning person. By nature, I wake for 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Whereas in winter or in autumn even, I'm a night person. Which is, so it's not like I'm one type. Sounds strange, I know, but it's a bit like this.
The favorite place you've traveled?
I think it's Macau. Macau was interesting for me. By coincidence, I was invited to go there, and I was there. It's a bit like the Las Vegas of the East. It's interesting because you have an idea about the East, how it is. But at the same time, it has a lot of European influence, Portuguese influence. So you expect to see the Eastern culture, but at the same time you see the ancient, for instance, Portuguese culture. And at the same time, in the same 1 kilometer, let's say, it looks like Las Vegas full of casinos. So that was the most interesting place I've been, I think, in my life until now.
What would be the theme song of your life right now?
That's a difficult one because I like music a lot. If I only focus on the title, it probably would be Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin. Yeah. Let's not go into the lyrics, but really only focusing on the title. For me, it's a bit like the question you asked me earlier about success. Stairway to Heaven is like a stairway climbing to heaven, so improving in your life, both professionally and personally, every day, every minute. So that's why I choose this as a theme song, because of the title.
I see.
I like the song as well, by the way. It's not just because of the title, but it's because of the title here. Yeah.
Who is someone who's made a big impact on your life right now?
I already mentioned my mother. I would like to mention my parents, in fact, from a very early age, because they were having their life and they were also very busy with working. Let's call it like that. They teach me to be independent on a lot of aspects. So not only independent on making dinner or making lunch for myself, but also how to become financially independent, how to become independent when you travel, to take decisions on my own. So there I learned a lot. So I'm very grateful for that. That's maybe very close to me, it's my parents. I think additionally also Christopher Columbus, if I can go in someone who's not living anymore. He was self-educated, which relates a lot to me. I think I can say I'm also self-educated. And just like Christopher Columbus on his ships traveling the world, I feel a bit the same sometimes, maybe on another scale and with another perspective. But it must be amazing in his eyes to go to parts of the world that have never been explored before by the European community. Sometimes I feel the same. For instance, when I came here in Romania, when I came for the first time in Moldova, it's not so common places to go. They are not touristic locations, and I feel a bit the same. Okay, I'm here exploring new world from my point of view, who comes with a lot of prejudice. At the same time, there's a lot of interesting things to find. There's a lot of opportunity in this country, so that's how I relate sometimes with Christopher Columbus.
Wow. And now for the end, tell us please a fun fact that people probably don't know about you.
I'm sure some people know about this in my environment. I could return the question where you have to answer with yes or no. Do you think I worked for the Chippendales?
Good question. Excellent question.
So the answer is yes.
Excellent.
Not as a Chippendale, very important. But I worked, I did some shows as a security guard, let's say, for the Chippendales on their tours in Belgium when I was a lot younger. But
wow.
I don't know if it's a fun fact, but it's, for me it is a fun fact.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Tom, for having us today.
The pleasure is mine.
Thank you also for watching our show today. If you want to meet Tom, feel free to come and join our events or any other activities that we will put in place. Tom, thank you again.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Time.
Bye.
Bye.